Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Mars is now going combust, and it's not going combust for a very short duration. In fact, Mars will start its combustion on 24th of September. Until 16th of January, Mars will remain combust. So it's a very long duration of the combustion of Mars. So what is really a combustion? In technical terms, it is called asta, means the planet sets when a planet comes at a certain proximity, at a certain degree of inclination with respect to the sun. When you observe that planet from Earth, you won't be able to observe because usually the timing of the planet's visibility will be during the daytime. That means you won't be able to see. You can't see the stars during the day. That is called combustion. Combustion means it's the power of the sun is so strong that you are unable to visualize or see that planet real time, and that planet is not visible in the night. It, on the astrological terms, means that the strength of the planet will go unnoticed, and that can create some issues. Mars is in the sign of Virgo right now, and Mars is in a comparatively good position. And if you see the trajectory, this combustion began after some time Sun entered the sign of Virgo, and combustion will end only when there is a Makar Sankranti. That means when the Sun will cross over to the Capricorn zodiac sign while Mars will be in Sagittarius in Purvashada Nakshatra. So you can see that Mars has to travel quite a distance from Virgo to Libra to Scorpio and then to Sagittarius. And if wait for the Sun to move 5 zodiac signs, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and then to Capricorn for the combustion to end, that means it's a quarter of a year, around 3 months, and you must focus on the energies of Mars. Otherwise, the aggression, the fire, the passion will go unnoticed, and this combustion can create repercussions in our life which we will not be able to comprehend. Also around 18th or 19th, around that time of November, the Sun and Mars will meet exactly at the same degree in the sign of Scorpio, that too in the early zone of the Scorpio. So you can see how the Sun and Mars are going hand in hand. I have made a video about Sun and Mars conjunction. You can watch that video. But what if we add combustion? What is the result of this combustion in our life? We will discuss here. So please subscribe the channel, share the video among family and friends, because sharing is how you can spread the word of Vedic astrology, and which also tells YouTube that Jyotish is important. For consultations, you can drop me an email. The email ID is in the description box below. You can also follow me on Instagram for reels and short video content, and for other social media platforms, the links are in the description box below. Let's try to understand the combustion of Mars and what it has for all of us. Combustion is often overlooked by a lot of people. Asta Graha is a kind of Graha that is below the horizon, that is closer to the Sun, and we cannot see the planet right in the night time through our naked eyes. So there is an assumption that this planet has lost its power. Because it is too close to the Sun, which is the power of Atman, which is the king, kind of takes away the strength, and that planet is useless, or that planet becomes weak or has no force. That is a wrong concept. Planets don't lose their strength like that. You cannot see that planet. That does not mean that planet is not existent. If you can't see the stars in the daytime, does that mean that there are no stars? No, the stars are there. Just that the power of the Sun is so strong that you can't see. It is like, imagine that when you try to click a picture, or if you want to understand combustion, during the night, take your phone camera and try to click a picture, or try to click a picture of the nice sky focusing on the Sun. The moment you will tap on the Sun, the exposure of the camera will adjust to the brightness of the Sun, and automatically the other areas will become dim. And the moment you try to expose it from a darker area, you click on the darker side of the photo, and suddenly the exposure increases, and suddenly everything becomes bright. But the moment you click on the Sun, or maybe there's a strong light coming from a source and you click on that light, camera's exposure adjusts to that light and automatically everything around becomes dull and few things will become invisible. That is how life's exposure to the forces adjusts and the planets that are near to the sun becomes invisible. That does not mean that the very object that you're trying to click photo has gone missing. No. So it is an apparent absence of the forces or energies of the planet. And therefore, what we have to do is we have to carefully observe our desires during this time, because Sun and Mars means that inherent desire, the inner desire that will rise without even our knowledge. We will not be able to focus and we will not be able to be aware about those desires. Desire created by Mars can create a life and death situation, do or die situation in life. It can make you desperate. It can make you work really hard towards that desire without you even knowing that you are actually following that path. Also, desire of the Mars will be focused by the Sun. So that means if something, especially if you have lived up to the 36 years of your life, you will see that some desire that has been long hidden in your heart will now start bubbling up. Because when Mars goes unnoticed, remember, when Mars is unnoticed, the energy is free to be played by the planet because you won't control it. Otherwise, Mars is your willpower, Mars is your desire. So your desire can be also to control your desire. See, when you control your desire, it is also your desire. Desire cuts desire, desire inflames the desire. That's the basis of how the world functions. So when Mars is free, it totally depends on the power of the Sun. And if you see the trajectory of the Sun, it is only in Libra when the Sun will be weak, but otherwise the Sun is pretty strong. It is strong in Virgo, it is strong in Scorpio, it is strong in Sagittarius, and it is very, very strong in Capricorn. Just that when Sun and Mars will be in Libra, it will start affecting relationships. It will start making you feel low in energy. It will create mood fluctuations, and it will create fluctuations in your mind, and it will create lack of confidence. You will have to track the trajectory of the Sun. You can subscribe my channel. I do upload Sun transit videos every month. Now, when Sun and Mars are going hand in hand, there can be problems that may rise with the father, with the authorities. You will see weird things happening geopolitically. Strong country behaving weak, weak countries behaving strong, and there will be emergence of new global powers. That will happen. It's a 3.5, 4 month period. But on a layman terms, on a day-to-day life, when you don't focus on Martian energy, it totally depends on how well placed Mars is in your birth chart. If Mars is positive in your birth chart, then Mars will play a decent role. Sun and Mars is king and the soldier in charge, and combust Mars is like soldier hiding in plain sight. It is more like intelligence. So you will get all the necessary information to counter the negative energy. But if Mars is negative in your birth chart, say Mars is Mars is combust in your birth chart, or Mars is heavily corrupt, say Mars is with Rahu in 6, 8 or 12, what it will do is that the Sun and Mars conjunction will fail to guide you, will fail to make you understand your true potential, and you may assume your strength. So assumption of strength or even assumption of weakness might come up if Mars is weak in your birth chart. Depends on if Mars is subdued or Mars is overpowered in the birth chart. Say Mars and Rahu is in Capricorn, then you will feel overpowered. If Mars is debilitated with Ketu, say in the 8th house, then you will feel underpowered. So you will misjudge not only yourself, but the strength of people around you, the consequence of actions, the desire and your silent movement of life towards fulfillment of that desire. People will try to make you aware. If you listen, good. If you don't listen, you might fall in the wrong track. So the first thing is you should focus where your Mars is and what is your Mars doing. Second, if you are Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. If you are these 4 moon sign, then the combust Mars will be hovering around your moon. So definitely this Mars will affect your mental state. If you're a Virgo moon sign and Mars goes on your moon, you will feel, some people will feel free. Because Mars is causing problems in their life, so they will feel free. But you might also feel the lack of strength and energy, and this can cause anxiety. This can cause misjudgment, especially in relationships. This can cause problems with brothers, with friends. And the moment you will think of proving yourself or proving a point, you will see that you cannot, because there is no strength. Because you will see that there is a higher power trying to overpower you. This will impact heavily on career part of life, especially if Virgo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Libra is falling in your 6th house and 10th house. Because if it falls in the 6th house and 10th house, then it is impacting your career. I will tell you for all ascendant what exactly Mars combust will do quickly, but try to understand the basis, the very structure, the core structure of this planetary position. But if I see this from a positive state, there are a lot of things to be discovered. Also, if you observe that Aries ascendant natives will also undergo a lot of ups and downs, so will Leo, because Aries and Leo both are ruled by Sun and Mars, and Sun gets exalted in Aries zodiac sign. So Aries is one zodiac sign for which Sun will be and Mars will be hovering around 6, 7, 8, 9th and 10th house. So understand, from 6th house Virgo, 7th house Libra, 8th house Scorpio, 9th house Sagittarius, and then the 10th house Capricorn. So Mars will be combust in 4 zodiac sign in and around your 7th house, affecting your marriage, relationship, all these areas. So you have to observe the strength and what is happening around you. Are you getting provoked? Is there a sudden desire to react to situation? Are you getting, are you feeling that insult too often? Is slight triggers causing mental breakdowns? These are the few indicators. Forget your moon sign. Just see, are these the indicator happening with you? If it is happening, understand that it is a Martian combustion and the overpowering of the Sun that may be causing this. Now, there is one category of people who should be aware during this time, and that is someone who has Sun and Mars in Aries or Sun and Mars in Capricorn. Now, somebody who has Sun and Mars in Aries, Sun and Mars in Capricorn, Mars in Capricorn, Sun in Aries, you might see a recklessness of energy during this time and you might overreact. So be watchful of your action and consequences of your action. Sometimes you cannot ignore the consequences, ignore the karma phal. Someone who has a Saturn-Mars conjunction, or somehow Mars is influenced by Saturn by aspect or by nakshatra or by placement, will find this time to be a time where you will feel relaxed. Because when Saturn-Mars gets combined, it is kind of trapping you. It is kind of locking the Martian energy. And this Mars, when it prays to Surya, will find the freedom. You will be able to manage your energies in beautiful ways, and you will be more creative during this time. Also, someone who has a debilitated moon sign, that means someone who is born as a Scorpio moon, should be slightly careful. Let's understand for each ascendant quickly which area of life will be affected, and after I tell you about all the ascendant, I will tell you the positive and the really positive aspect of Sun and Mars combustion. That means Mars is following the Sun, and how to make the best use of it. Aries. Now Aries is ruled by Mars and Mars is getting combust. So what are the areas which will be affected for you? First of all, you need to avoid conflicts. You need to avoid road rage, taking loans. Be careful in your marriage. Be careful in your investments and about your health. Taurus. Now for Taurus, you should be careful about how you are dealing with your children, about your health. Then you should be careful about your marriage, your business during this time, how you are lending money. Are you full of loan or debt? Then you should clear off the debt as soon as possible. And then Mars is only getting free when Mars will be in your 8th house. That means you can be doing something, and then finally when Mars comes into vision, you are in your 8th house. So you can be in big soup. So be watchful of your energies. Expenses will be on the higher side, so control your expenses. Gemini. For Gemini, the combustion of Mars means that your 6th house and your 11th house lord is getting combust. That too in the 4th, then 5th, then 6th, and then the 7th house. So there can be property or real estate related issues. This can be an issue in the marriage because you're traveling a lot. Unsettlement in the family will create tensions in the family. And I'm not saying this is going to be the only result of this Mars combust, but if it is happening, try to understand that it is happening because of combust Mars. What should you do? Pray Hanuman Chalisa. For Cancer, Lagna and Zodiac sign, Kark Lagna and Zodiac sign, Mars movement will be from the 3rd house to 6th house. So it will be impacting your ability. So you will feel a bit lethargic, the energy will be low, the metabolism might go down, you might feel uncomfortable, or you might try to spend more time in leisure activities rather than work. So no procrastination. For Leo, it will be more about finances and food. So be watchful of what you eat, how you speak, how you communicate, and whether you are feeling more comfortable with your own power and strength. Because if you're not, then you will have to find a comfort area. Virgo, because it is going to happen from your 1st house to the 4th house, you have to be watchful of your own behavior, your own desires. You can find your comfort zone in motion. So flow like water, and try to focus more on the financial side and the financial security. Libra, for you, Mars and Sun will be in your 1st house while the Sun and Mars goes hand in hand and Mars goes combust. So that is 1 month when Sun will be in Libra, you will have to be careful. Expenses will be on the higher side. When you are planning a travel, your health can be a concern. So plan in a way that you are healthy. Sudden plan or backpacking may not suit you. Expenses will be on the higher side. So plan accordingly. For Scorpio, it will be affecting your career. It will be affecting the income side of life, because both the 2nd house and 11th house will be affected while Mars is moving during the combustion phase. Focus more on savings during this time and try to increase your source of income. For Sagittarius, Mars combustion will start from your 10th house, end in your 1st house. So it means realization of karma will happen. Traveling for career will happen during this time. You need to focus more on your health. And if you are planning to travel abroad for your career, you have to be watchful and careful. You should pray to Bhagwan Hanuman. For Capricorn, this is a transit where Mars is combust from 9th house till the 12th house. That means the lack of realization of dharma can be a problem, because you might take certain decisions thinking it is right and it might not be right. It might also affect your career, because 10th and 11th house will also be affected. So what should you do? Before taking any decision, take a consultation with someone, a learned person or an elderly person who are associated with your field or that area of the question. Aquarius. For Aquarius, Mars will move from 8th house till the 11th house. So there will be missed opportunities. You might be more tensed because of your relationship with your father, or you might feel weakened because of the presence of a higher authority or a higher power. So surrender is going to be your key. Career changes are very much possible during this time, but you should drop your expectations away and just focus on the present and deal one case, one situation at a time. And for Pisces, Mars transit is going to affect both your marriage and career. And this combustion of Mars can easily make you not understand the importance of career when you're focusing on marriage, or importance of marriage when you're focusing on career. So try to have that balanced lifestyle, focus more on your health, and focus on the guidance given by the elderly. Now coming to the positive side of Sun and Mars conjunction. How to gain the maximum out of this? See, if Mars is Bhagwan Hanuman, Surya is Bhagwan Shri Ram. So if Mars is going combust in front of Surya, it is, if I have to imagine, it's the picture of Ram Darbar. It is Bhagwan Shri Ram with Mata Sita, Prabhu Lakshman, and Hanumanji is sitting at the feet of Bhagwan Shri Ram and folding the hands and praying, and Bhagwan Ram is giving the Ashirwad to Hanumanji. What's wrong in it? What's wrong in surrendering to Bhagwan Ram? So if you surrender to the higher power, which is the non-human power, and if you follow the path or the kind of lifestyle Prabhu Hanuman has lived, and you pray to Bhagwan Hanuman, and you try to surrender yourself and be a combust Mars, accept that combustion. Mars, Hanumanji is combust in front of Bhagwan Shri Ram. Obviously not literally, and Hanumanji is the, the powerful Bhagwan Apan Tej Samharo Ape, Tino Lok Hankte Kape. He is the one who can only handle his own strength by himself. Nobody else can. All the three lokas, the Patala Loka, the Prithvi Loka, Bhuloka and the Swarga Loka can tremble when he will stand with his full might, but still with all that power he surrenders himself to the avatar of Bhagwan Vishnu, which talks about the quality of power. Power can be with anyone, but what is the quality of the power? The true power is the one that knows when to stop, when to surrender, how to use it. And that is what Mars is going to do with the Sun. It's a test for all of us. Can we surrender our power and do our duty in our karma consciously by following the path of dharma? Challenges will come. That is bound to come. But will we surrender to those challenges? Will we not fight? Will we not focus on the positive side of the Sun? Mars is your strength, your willpower, your desire, but Sun is the Bhagwan Shri Ram and Prabhu Mahavishnu. It can be Bhagwan Mahashiv, it can be Ma Jagdamba also. You will find these connections everywhere. Mars is the true strength. Just surrender. I can also connect this energy, and may be incorrect, pardon me. I'm just a bhakt, I don't claim to have a lot of knowledge. But if I close my eyes, I will see this connection as Ma Kali and Bhagwan Shiv, where Bhagwan Shiv has surrendered while Ma Kali was on that anger. Bhagwan Shiv has surrendered himself, lying on the bhumi, and when Ma Kali puts her feet on the chest of Bhagwan Vishnu, the tongue comes out and the anger goes down. That's like a remorse. That's the Shanta Swarup. That is what happens when you surrender to the higher power. Doesn't matter how powerful you are. You have to respect. Sun and Mars shows mutual respect. So if you show mutual respect to a power, that will convert into divinity. And people will remember these imageries for millenniums. So you can also create an imagery in your life, an example in your life. People may not remember you or anybody else for generation, but you will remember your karma through your genes, through the Atma, because only your karma is carried forward after your death. Nothing else gets carried forward. So what are the remedies? Simple. Do the part of Ramcharitmanas, Sundarkand part. Do the japa of Hanuman Chalisa every day. If that is also difficult, just pray Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, or sif Ram, Ram, Ram. The Naam Uchcharan, the continuous chanting of the Naam Japa is very important during this time. Try to understand. Combustion will keep on happening, retrogression will keep on happening, planets keep on changing, and that is how the world works. Everything is constantly moving, everything is in constant motion. If we are alive during this time and if we are observing the planet, that means we are supposed to get this out of so many combinations of planets. Why this particular combination is affecting your life? Try to understand that. Maybe you have to understand the planetary energy and extract the positive out of it. Meditation will help you a lot. Lot of grounding exercises, grounding meditation, cleansing your energy, using the crystals, doing yoga, pranayam, Surya Namaskar will help you excellent in this time. Sitting in Vajrasan will be one of the better remedies for a lot of people, especially if you don't have any problem in your knees, you can sit in Vajrasan. So these are some of the ways by which you can manifest the positive out of the Sun and Mars. And remember, when Mars sometimes is let free, that means your desires are free. It also means that your desire gets burnt in the soul. So if you convert your Surya, instead of your Atma, if it becomes Bhagwan Shiv or Bhagwan Mahavishnu or Ma Jagdamba, Mars, which is the desire, the unsaid desire, instead of rising, it can get burnt also. That means people who want to be a sadhak, who want to be into spiritual practice, who want to cleanse itself, can find this cleansing happening now. Because when Mars goes in front of Sun, Sun's heat is always purifying. It will cleanse, it will take away anything toxic and negative. That is one way to look at any combustion, and especially a combustion of a planet which is like Mars, which is going for 3.5 months. I will make a video on Mars transit in different zodiac signs, but every such video I will put this Mars combustion video in the comment section. So you should watch this video again, try to understand, oh, Mars is in Libra, it has this effect for your ascendant, but because Mars is in combust, it will have a combined effect. Always remember that.